During the Bosnian War, I worked with Bosnian refugees. And as soon as the war was over, I worked as a human rights investigator in Bosnia. And it was at a time before the tribunal had really gotten up to speed. So the ICTY existed, but it wasn't running really yet. It was running, but there were no cases, and there was not a lot of confidence that it would actually get off the ground. And interviewing the survivors of these heinous crimes, they spoke with a bit of a hopelessness in the way that they spoke. And we wanted so fervently for something to be able to be done about this. And there was hopefulness in the international community, but there was also a fear and a concern that actually justice would never be done. So to watch over time how the field has developed, how there has been gradually increasing accountability for violations of international criminal law, it has been incredible for me personally to see the development of the international criminal justice field, and to see how just in the time that I've been working, we went from a situation where there was a concern that these crimes would never be adjudicated, and now we have numerous tribunals. We have numerous examples of cases being brought, witnesses coming and telling their story, and accused persons being convicted and serving sentences. So the prospect for international justice has certainly changed dramatically. That said, I think that unfortunately there are a lot of women who don't have access to justice. There are a lot of women who don't get access to the international arena in terms of justice, not necessarily because of the tribunals, but because there's only so much that an international tribunal can do. And those women need support for access to justice domestically in their own contexts. It's very interesting to have been in this field from so early on, because I saw how we as practitioners of international criminal law, how we developed and learned from mistakes and learned from the survivors and witnesses themselves. They really deserve the credit. They are the beneficiaries of the justice process, and they deserve the credit for having taught us how to bring effective justice to them. Early on, the means of protection were in question. There was very little experience internationally about how to investigate these crimes, how to prosecute them, how to deal with survivors, how to investigate in a war context or immediately post-conflict context, how to protect the witnesses that we were speaking to in a way that would be really effective, protecting them not only physically but psychologically, while bringing them into the justice process. In a context like Sierra Leone, there was more translation that needed to happen. There was far less access and far less understanding amongst the community of what the Special Court for Sierra Leone could do. And so bringing the beneficiaries, the survivors, into the justice process and bringing the justice to them was a very big task. As a practitioner, as a prosecutor, we work on cases. We work rather narrowly. We try to do our best in terms of bringing justice for sexual and gender-based violence crimes, but we are only one small piece in a very important network web of work that needs to be done on access to gender justice. And so I believe that the work that UN Women is doing is critical in bringing in what we do internationally into the fold more broadly, globally. As the first person seconded by UN Women, it was UNIFEM at the time, to a commission of experts for Guinea, I joined with a team, a very talented team of people, but the addition, because the crimes that had taken place in Guinea were very serious and involved a very widespread pattern of crimes of sexual violence, it was very critical to have a gender expert participating in the team. What I think I was able to add, at least I certainly tried my best to add, was the international criminal law component. So how do these crimes of sexual and gender-based violence, what violations under international criminal law may have taken place there? And that enabled the Commission to reach conclusions not only about what human rights violations may have taken place, but also about what international criminal law violations took place. So I think the expertise on gender-based crimes combined with the expertise on international criminal law was something that did make a very strong contribution to the team. And now with a team of experts being trained up, there will be a pool of individuals who can easily serve in that capacity and ensure that sexual and gender-based violence forms a central part of any investigation in conflict areas.